What's up, everybody? How are we all doing today? Everybody have a good week? Did you do something fun? Enjoy your Friday? Yes, Joe. Happy Friday! Happy Friday! Happy Friday! Marco, how you doing? Ground fog, good to see you. Pretty fly. Paddle faster. I hear banjos. Did you like my my photo I did for the live of me whitewater kayaking? Gotta hit the river here and do that before it gets cold. My older son wants to go with me, so yeah, I need to get on the Whitewater River again. How you doing, Mr. Paul Mills? How you doing? Yeah, in here just a little early. I'm not too terribly late this time, so booyah. Yeah, what's up, Eagle Scout EDC? I know you and I have been chatting a little bit here and there. I spent the longest time. It took absolutely forever because all I have is the poor man's Lansky sharpening system, and supposedly the original. Granted, this has got aftermarket scales on it, but the original AD 20.5 had or has the original has a 20-degree grind for the edge on it on the AUS 10s and the D2s. So uh, and I decided to upgrade in hopes that I would use this knife a little bit more and enjoy it again. I bought off of White Mountain Knives the more updated premium S35 VN blade steeled AD 20.5, and so I sent Eagle Scout my old D2 blade. It's not AUS 10, it's D2. I back then I sprung for the D2 being a tougher steel than AUS 10. Not that AUS 10 is all that bad, just D2 is just a little bit harder on the HRC. Holds the edge just a little bit longer, for sure, than AUS 10. But between Cold Steel and Demko knives, they have some. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I did not realize until I was sharpening that it was a D2 blade. But listen. In all my vast experience with D2 and AUS 10, D2 definitely holds an edge better and longer, so it's a tougher steel. And but at the same time, I understand that D2 in general is a little worry to corrosion and rust in your wetter environments. But but between Cold Steel and Demko knives, I don't know who OEMs who makes Demko knives. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But between Cold Steel and Demko knives, they have some of the best finished product Austin and D2. Like I've when D2 had its craze in like all the budget knives started using D2 instead of the crummier steels. You know, D2 was the craze, right? Because you know it was a tough blade that had really good edge retention, and to get a $40 to $60 pocket knife. Damn it, shoes in the way. To get a $40 to $65 pocket knife that instead of having 440C have D2 on it was like the thing back then, right? You know, and that's just like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, with all the knives that I've had for D2, the Demko AD 20.5 and the couple of Um, the couple of cold steels have just been insanely good, and just their heat treat and their temper and everything, they just did those steels full justice, as far as I'm concerned. So, because of the original D2 blade having a 20-degree edge on it, I had about a year or two ago started reprofiling it and using my cheapo Lansky sharpening stone system, my guided Lansky system. And unfortunately, you need like a 60, 70, or 80 grit stone to reprofile. And the 70 grit stone that came with this Lansky set, I was primarily using to put nice edges on all my axes and hatchets. Uh, and sometime at some point, I ended up dropping it, and it hit a steel plate on the ground and cracked the stone inside the little Lansky housing thing, the little plastic piece that holds the stone for you to attach the guide rod onto. So I broke it. I broke that stone, broke that rod stone, and so I no longer have that low grit stone to use to reprofile. So the next one up is 120 grit, and 120 grit on tough steel, especially D2 that's been done right, which is rare. Um, yeah, it was a bitch. It was a bitch to regrind that thing. It took me absolutely forever to reprofile that to a 17 degree uh, edge grind rather than the 20 degree. So, Eagle Scout, what you're getting, I'll remind you in a week when you get the knife. Again, I think Pirate Ship said expected arrival date would be next Tuesday. I'd be happy if USPS got it to you by Wednesday, but it is possible it might not arrive till Thursday, which you've already said you're okay with that. So it is what it is. So, sorry, it took me three and a half days to put a real nice edge on it, but I managed to do it. Granted, it's a 17 degree uh, regrind, but it does have a micro edge at that 20 degree. I have found that with your harder D2 blades, they end up getting a toothier, more hair popping, sharp edge if you do that micro bevel. If you do, just do after you got that 17 degree flat for your grind, uh, for the blade, then you go back and you hit it with like your 320 or 400, and then finish it off with 600 and put just that little micro bevel, and that just, God, it wants to grip and tear through shit. So yeah, so that on that blade, on that with that steel, that is what I have found, and what a lot of people have found and told me and passed along, is that often gets you like that perfect little sweet uh, edge that really cuts well and stays sharp. So if you put it under a magnifying glass, you'll see what I'm talking about when you get it. I don't know if any of y'all have done that with your blades, have done that micro bevel where you change the angle just at the very, very edge, just with about 15, 20 swipes with the stone on each side. But yeah, so I've got so he's got the new one that I ordered, and I took the S35 blade off of it and put it on my old one here, where I have the Rips Garage Tech red burlap micarta scales on it, and so then he got the brand new knife handle and all the whole works just with an older blade, the D2 blade. But he basically got a new knife just with an older blade. Um, and so that'll be pretty sweet. And the scales that came, that when I ordered that one, the scales that came with it were the carbon fiber scales, and their carbon fiber on the Demcos are pretty slick. They have like an outer texture to them, and they're really nice looking. They don't look, you know how like a lot of your old school standard carbon fiber just kind of looks real cheap on folders. The carbon fiber that they do does not look like that. It's a wicked carbon fiber. I was really impressed when I was handling it and swapping the blades. I was like, this is some actually sweet carbon fiber for being the old checkered pattern, standard looking carbon fiber. It does not look and absolutely does not feel cheap. So that was my experience with that. I need to purchase, and I'm looking at several different options, but I need to purchase a new sharpening system because, yeah, that was not fun spending so many days, so many hours uh, working on the edge for that blade, redoing that blade. But I'm very happy with it. It's literally was like popping hairs off of the top of my hand. So that's off to to Eagle Scout EDC. I want you to keep it and use it and enjoy it for as long as you can. You can send it back to me. That is one that I'm looking at. I mean I know it's a real popular one, but they're kind of, to me, they are like the next step up for a guided sharpening system, and that's what I like. I like the guiding with the rods, and I like it to where you can pinpoint where the machine tells you you're at this degree for your edge. That way, depending on the steels and the knives of what I'm sharpening, I can choose anything from 16 degrees to 19 degrees. That's kind of where I like things, is between 16 and 19 degrees. But for knives, for blades. But yeah, so I'm looking at that one. I'm looking at 2 or 3 others. Grumpy was and a couple of others last night in Grumpy's live were given some strong suggestions. So I'm looking at those and gonna do a little more research and figure out what I'll end up with. But hey, Mrs. Urban is up in Atlanta area with her oldest daughter looking at colleges because she'll be a senior in high school next year. Not Mrs. Urban, her daughter. Her daughter will be a senior in high school. Just making sure that everybody knows that. I'm not one of those people. But yeah, so she took her up there, and they've spent a handful of days looking at three or four different colleges. So, yes, I am actually a college football fan. I'm not extreme. I'm not a big college football fan, but I do strongly back UGA. But historically, since I'm a Georgia boy, and but I don't know. I still enjoy watching college football, but it's starting to, like, the little things about pro football that I really hate is starting to happen at the college level. Well, has been happening now at the college level for a handful of years. And the Georgia Bulldogs, the UGA Bulldogs. I even though I grew up close to Atlanta, and less than an hour from Georgia Tech, I was never a Georgia Tech fan. Always the Georgia Bulldogs. And that's actually, weren't y'all there yesterday Isn't that where you guys were at yesterday at UGA? Mrs. Urban took a photo of her where the UGA football stadium, good old Stanford Stadium, was behind her. So I'm a little bit jealous. I've only been there a couple times in my life. I've yet to actually watch a football game in the Stanford Stadium at UGA campus. The handful of times that I've watched UGA games have been either at Atlanta Georgia Dome, there in Atlanta for an SEC championship, and I've seen them once down in Jacksonville when they played the Gators. So those are where I've seen UGA play. I've only been to I think 3 UGA games in person. Otherwise, I just watch them on TV. And watching them on TV is enough for me. I the high school I grew up in right there in Atlanta. Um, we went to I've gone to so many football games to where it's just like I am good with not going to a stadium to watch a football game. I'm fine with doing it at home. uh, yeah, most of your major colleges do absolutely require freshmen to live on campus the first year. Yeah, lot of your major colleges. That's the rule. What up, Dang Ross? Of course they gotta pay. They want their money. $10 ain't that bad though. Yeah, well, KSU's a smaller college. They're not a major university. Well, I mean they are in the system wise, but they're not. They're not. Like I said, some do, some don't. It depends. Some colleges, even some of your larger colleges, are not uh, set up for capacity wise to house all of their freshmen in in dormitories. So sometimes that's the problem too. A lot of times in crowded cities or just smaller camp, even though they're a big college, space is relative as far as uh, the buildings required for the college versus buildings made to have as dormitories for residents. But anyways, we're not talking about college. We're not talking about football. I've just over the last couple of years, I've hate the how political and how uh, corporate business has just pounded into the college level, and that's from the pro level to where all these kids are now being pushed with, advertising and freaking contracts here and contracts there, and just taking them away from just learning to play the game better and get better at playing the game and refining their skills, and figuring out what works best for them and how to work as a team. Like that's what I loved about college football growing up, and now it's not like that. I mean, they still play strong. Being part of the team is a big deal, but not quite so much. I mean, now high school kids that are hot stuff, getting scholarships from major colleges with major football programs. The recruiting process has just gotten nastier and nastier. Not that it wasn't bad before, but I mean, I think because of social media, it's more publicly gotten nastier and nastier. We just, the general public can see how brutal it is, and how less it matters to these kids. Uh, Team spirit and wanting to play for a certain school or play for a certain team, a certain coach. There's few. It seems like there's fewer and fewer kids that care about that or think about that. They're going wherever's gonna give them the most publicity and the most playing time and the most amount of money. I mean, they care too much about the money, and that's what the pros are all about. And I hate that. I think it takes away from your ability to focus on being an amazing player, a player that people want to watch because of talent and skill, not because you're just popular because you make a lot of money and you've made yourself really popular through social media and through advertisements and all that crap. But yeah, all right, let's. Uh, oh shit! There's either my internet or YouTube or freaking StreamYard's crapping out again. I went black for a minute, didn't I? But I did get that Ares EDC knife. It finally came, finally showed up. The one that I won off of one of his lives where he did a giveaway. So a big shout out to Ares EDC. I've been chatting with him since then, since he gave me the shipping information, and we kind of watched together as this thing went all over the fucking place. We literally, he lives down in South Central Florida, and I'm at the bottom of Georgia. So we're literally like 6-7 hours away from each other. Um, so, so the fact that when he shipped this thing out, it went up to, oh crap, where did it go? It went all over the damn place. Here, let me pull it up real quick because I got it right here. But it went all over the place, and it ended up getting lost, supposedly somewhere at the bottom of Florida, and it ended up going to Puerto Rico. I'm kid you not. This stupid package went down to Puerto Rico, which was like, what? And we were both like, this makes no sense. This is really dumb. uh, but let's see. Yeah, so it started near him down in Ocoee, Florida, which is south central ish Florida, and then it went up to Orlando, and it sat in Orlando for a number of days, and then it said in transit to next facility for like 4 days. It just sat. Oh, supposedly it arrived in Jacksonville. So Jacksonville is like an hour and 10 minutes south of me, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. So it was in Jacksonville, Florida. It was at. So usually when mail hits Jacksonville, Florida, coming to me, I usually get it either the next after it leaves Jacksonville. I either get it the next day or the day after. It goes from Jacksonville straight to Brunswick, Georgia, and then it gets processed there. Just depending on what time of the day. If it leaves Jacksonville earlier in the morning, then it gets to Brunswick, it gets processed, and then it's out to delivery to me the next day. If not, then it's just immediately the day after. So from the 18th to the 24th, no updates from USPS. So that's when Aries was like, "Hey man, you should have gotten your package. What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know, man. USPS is fucking around again." Shit's happening in Jacksonville, and stuff's getting lost or forgotten about and sitting on a truck that hasn't gone nowhere. So he did the missing mail search request on the afternoon of the 24th, and then the next day it supposedly arrived in Carolina, Puerto Rico. So it arrived in Puerto Rico. So when I saw that, I messaged him and I was like, "Dude, you won't believe where this damn package is at." So It was just like, well, WTF, you know? So eventually it went back up to Jacksonville and sat in Jacksonville for a day and a half before it left and got to me. Today, it finally arrived today, like 3 hours ago. So that was crazy. Just I mean, it's just nuts what goes on, the nonsense that occurs with USPS. So and they keep upping their rates. They keep trying to charge more and more. So and that sucks. But always use that pirate ship website to mail stuff out because saves at least the $2 or $3 per package. But this thing's pretty cool. It's a Remet. It's part of their budget. It's in D2, but it's coded. It'll be interesting. I'll have to put it through a little bit of work to see how well of a job they did with this D2. If it holds its edge, stays pretty sharp for how long. It's got a good toothy edge right now. I don't know if their Aries did anything to it, sharpening wise. They at least dropped it. Um, they're smart with their deep carry clip. The screws are the clip is recessed and the screws are recessed, so you have a complete flat, no hang-ups on the pockets. Like so many companies don't know how to do that for whatever reason. They gotta either have the clip standing proud on top of the handle scales, or the screws are freaking mushrooming like skyscrapers, you know. Uh, but yeah, so it's a very slender knife. It's gonna go in one of my gear bags that I either keep somewhere around in the house or possibly go live in my car for a while. Um, it's a great little utilitarian blade. Thin profile. Like I said, it'll go in a bag. It'll go in a gear bag because it's nice and slender, you know, which is perfect for going in gear bags. But um, yeah, it's hard to. I've not had too many over the years. I've not had too many packages go missing. Uh, or I've never had anything. Well, I take that back. I've had one package actually get lost and never see. Uh, Great. Thank goodness it was nothing. You know, the what was in it wasn't worth but 30-40 bucks, so it wasn't a huge deal. Yeah, I think it was a birthday present for a family member. But did I show y'all? Did I get it last week in before our live? I don't remember. Did I show you guys that I had gotten the Remet swordfish gravity knife? This thing is so much fun. It's just so much fun, and it's so cool how that the mechanics of it work. I love it. I absolutely love it. I did figure out. I took it halfway apart to figure out that what you got to do to make it left-handed friendly um, is flip the blade over, reverse what side the blade opens on. So you do not move that button. So if you're lefty, the button's not going to be here. It's gonna be there. Um, you have to flip it over. So you literally just flip the blade over. So then, yeah. So I haven't done it because honestly, I carry my Pulse, my EMP EDC Pulse is always on my left side, my OTF. So that's always on my left side. So whatever other knife that I have that I'm carrying for the day goes in my right side pocket. So I don't plan to switch this over and make it into a lefty knife because I don't plan to put it on my left side of my body. I plan to use it uh, like all of my other folders that I carry on the right side because I'm technically more ambidextrous than I am a true lefty. I do so much with my right hand, and my penmanship actually looks better if I dedicate myself to making the switch to right-handed. My penmanship looks cleaner. I can write better, uh, lovelier looking letters if I make the dedicated switch to be right-handed writer. But for whatever reason, it's just more comfortable for me to write and do a lot of other things left-handed. So I kind of I like being a lefty. I absolutely throw a baseball. I can pitch way better left-handed than I can right-handed. So, but yeah, so this is my newest acquisition, my money wise. Oh, I did get in uh, those beads, which I think I also showed last week. But yeah, I got some new beads and I got my lanyard set up for um, this knife. Did I show this last week? I feel like I'm repeating what I did last Friday. But yeah, so I got that. And my son and I were talking today about blade steels because I took him to get his hair cut. Good old Cody, or Fred from Blade Show, as Stevie nicknamed him, little Freddie, little Freddie. So Freddie and I talked today about different blade steels. I'm gonna carry this guy tomorrow to work. I gotta work tomorrow and Sunday. I'm really actually like working for like the next 4 or 5 days straight. Um, I had a bit of a break this week. I had a 5 day break this week of no hours. And it's not done me any good and not going to work. But yeah, I'm going to carry this. This guy does not have a name yet. It's from Tack Knives. They were at the booth with Miguron at Blade Show this year, and this thing is sick, absolutely sick. So I'm going to carry him tomorrow with my pulse. But today I had in my pocket this guy, another sick, sexy, slender, blue crystallized titanium. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's got that barrel spring type lock, glide lock deal, where you just pull it back and it releases the blade. Absolutely sweet knife. Again, that same damn blade shape. Check that out. Very similar in size. This thing's just a little bit bigger. Just a hair bigger. But yeah, also slender and very, very similar blade shape. This guy's got more belly to him. This one's more straight, more of a straight edge, closer to a straight edge. Still a little bit of belly, but yeah. So that's interesting because I really like this sucker. This guy is wicked. Love this knife. So yeah, I carried him today. And but yeah, so my son and I were talking about blade steels, and how sweet is it that he got the one that's a little bit slightly slimmer than this guy, um, same lock mechanism, and he absolutely loves that knife. That's his new favorite knife, which rightfully so. That's the most expensive knife that he's ever had. But but how lucky is that? Is a kid to have a teenager, a young teenager these days, for pocket knife to have crystallized titanium, a fancy lock, almost like the kind of like the shark lock, but not really. It's different design, but same mechanics are in place. So yeah, a sweet ass lock, crystallized titanium, and S35 VM blade steel on a 3-inch blade. Like what? Like that was never anything. Not even close to that was available to us 15 years ago. Like that was not even an idea, not even a thought in anybody's vision boards. Like Einstein wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, like really cool. um so the giveaway today, y'all want to get going on that? Y'all want to do the giveaway? It's after 8. We could do the giveaway. Y'all ready for gall time? Let me show you what it is. I was trying to give a couple more people opportunity to show up. Dang Ross, how are you? Uh, yeah, I was hoping to get a few more people in here tonight before I did the golf, but it is after 8, so I mean, might as well, right? Quick question, Eagle Scout, BDC. Do you have any kind of plastic pry tools that you use to, pull off knife scales, or, trying to pop a screw out that's stuck, or anything? Do you have one of these type of plastic tools? Something that's kind of sort of looks like this. It's just a generic one from many different versions. If you don't, then sweet, because I threw one in your package. So with the AD 20.5, so you have one of these coming to you with that useful little tool. I don't know why I didn't bother getting some sooner. I had something that I acquired. I don't remember where I got it from, but I have something that was not meant for doing that kind of thing, but still kind of sort of worked. Um, Gave me that hard plastic chiseled edge that I could use to pry stuff apart with. Which is basically what that is, that end, and then this one's angled, thicker but angled. Um, so yeah, so I picked up a pack of these off of Amazon, uh, and so this is part of today's giveaway. And Eagle Scout, I sent you one as well. So that's that, and then the the knife that we're doing is no other than a NAFS knife, but it is not a folder. I am giving away a brand spanking new Lander. I think they call it the Moon Dust or something like that. Fixed blade. So yeah, this is their Lander fixed blade. It's just under a 3-inch blade, I believe. Let me double check that. I can't ever remember. I'll bust out Jason's ruler. Yep, when I was a little kid, parents, that was a thing, like back in those days when I was between 3 and 10 years old. Like, all of our parents wanted our stuff to have our names printed or put on it. more than just using a Sharpie marker. Like they wanted to buy stuff that you could request them to put our names on it. So it's actually a 2 3/4 or 2.8 inch blade, I believe, from what I can do with Jason's ruler. But yeah, man, I had lunch boxes, I had backpacks, I had books, I had rulers, I had all kinds of stuff with my name, like full blown printed onto it. But yeah, cool knife, Kydex sheath, belt carry loop like that, and comes with the lanyard. This is in the 14C28N. It's like a $65 knife, I believe, is what they're priced at on NAF's website. But yeah, so that's what today's giveaway is. Yeah, Ed, dude, you showed up just in time. How you doing? Bluminati, there we go. Yeah, Bluminati, Ed, just in time. I'm showing off the giveaway package. So you got this knife, and then you got one of these little pry tools. There's a couple stickers in here and some extra hardware uh, for the knife. So that's all there. And then I was curious about them, but NAFS not only makes and sells these themselves, but they also give out the blueprints for anybody who's got a 3D printer. That you can go ahead and just print your own if you want to, which would be sweet to do uh, in some other colors. I wish they had some. Well, I think they've got maybe a couple, one or two colors, or did they just have black? Let me look up. I think they just have the black? Um, they call this guy the Launchpad Desk Organizer. And yeah, it looks like they just make them in black only. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They're a little larger than I like. When I purchased them, I was curious how big they were because they don't on the website. They don't give you any real measurements to it, which is, I'm sorry, but that's really dumb not to give measurements of items such as this. Uh, I mean, maybe they do if you when you pull up um, the the blueprints for making it yourself. But for $9, they're $9, and I thought they were pretty cool for $9. But here's mine. I went ahead and purchased mine. Purchased one for me to keep, so you can put all sorts of things in it. Um, this guy I got ordered and received off Amazon. It's just a little cheap one. It does have the spinning head on it, and takes your 1/4 inch bits, and then you can put one of these i3 Olight flashlights in it. Then you've got little slots so you can put tools in. They're um, like, I would say about twice the width of a USB um, plug, charging plug. And then here's the brass manual calipers. They're just kind of handy to have, and it's got the ruler on it that on this side that measures out a full 4 inches, so you get a full 4 inches, which should be enough. What she said. and then I've got another um, Weehaw. This is actually a Weehaw product. Um, is there another? I thought I heard another bit inside. Oh yeah, there's two more. Two more? Yeah, I guess that's the magnet that's bouncing around. But yeah, this is a little Weehaw bit holder that holds the itty bitty skinny bits. And so this little desk organizer tray holds both your quarter-inch bits and the itty bitty skinny bits. So I pulled out some of them. And here I'm gonna put the rest of them in here. Put the itty bitty bits in the little bit holder. But yeah, so and then it's got little trays here that you can divider trays that you can put screws or um, other bits or pocket clips or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool little desk organizer thing for those who like to have this sitting out and ready to go, and have the space to have something like this sitting out ready to go. Whether that's in the garage or a workshop or at your desk or wherever, bathroom. The wife hates that I keep knife maintenance stuff on the bathroom counter next to a little, not right next to my sink, but a little bit away from the sink. She's always trying to clean that shit up and pile it up right up next to my sink, and I'm like, no, 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 don't mess with that stuff. Leave that stuff alone. So yeah, so I ordered 3 of these things since they're only $9, and I think they're pretty cool and would come in handy. So I'm gonna give one of them away, and then the other one, I don't know if I'll hang on to it for another giveaway or maybe gift it to my older son. I don't know, depending on what he thinks about it. So yeah, so this is part of the giveaway, and then the last thing that I've got for today's giveaway is the good old O-Knife O-Tackle K1 multi-tool pocket or keychain multi-tool. It's a little large for a keychain tool. I keep one on with my motorcycle keys because I have a few less keys on that key ring than I do my car keys. Uh, and it's been holding up to the beating that it gets being on the bike and just dangling as I'm riding up and down, hauling ass up and down the roads on the motorcycle. But yeah, so cool little uh, multi-tool, keychain multi-tool. Uh, it actually will fit in those grooves on the desk organizer. Here, I'll go ahead and pull it out. But yeah, if I have on my car keys, I have not the SD Classic, but one of the ones that that Victorinox has that's just a little bit bigger than the SD Classic. It's got a better set of scissors on it than the SD Classic has the old dinky scissors. But the O-Tackle K1 here, I'm being careful to open it so as to not really ruin or tear up the packaging any more than I have to get it out. So I don't want to grab the one on my keys because it looks terribly beat to hell. But here it is. You got a nice, pretty large blade. That's a 2 inch, almost a 1 and 3/4, or at least 1.5 inch blade. But these have awesome scissors. These are awesome scissors. They don't have that little flimsy spring bar that rides between that often gets bent or broken like what you have on a Victorinox SD Classic. These have a ball and they have the spring system is right there is that guy. It's a much thicker, heavier duty um, tension bar that gives you a much better setup for the scissor blades. And these blades have micro teeth on them, so each blade has little micro teeth on them. And for itty bitty scissors like that, that actually helps the scissors hold up and retain sharper cuts and be able to do sharper cuts much longer than the scissors that don't have those little micro teeth. And then another cool tool that it has gives you, they jam pack can opener and bottle opener together, which is pretty gnarly. And then you have it's not a wire stripper, but I don't know what you use this notch down there for something. And then you get a flathead screwdriver right there at the end. So yeah, handful of tools all thrown in on that one. And then of course you get the infamous dinky little tweezers, which are not terrible, but you know, they are what they are, right? No toothpick. They don't fool around with those plastic toothpicks. But yeah, right, nice little multi tool. I do use mine from time to time. It does absolutely come in handy, and I love having it. And oh yeah, I wanted to show demonstrate that these slots are in fact, nope, they're not wide enough for this guy to drop into. Just a little bit shy. That's what I was curious whether or not that would fit in there. It doesn't. It does not. But that's okay because, like I showed in mine, you're getting this guy, right? The plastic guy, and I'm including one of these in the giveaways. I'm giving our winner that where is that? I have it right here somewhere. Where did I put it? I will have to find it because I don't know where it went. Oh, where did it go? Where did that son of a gun go? I put it somewhere. It's around here somewhere. I know it is. Misplacing stuff already. I didn't put it in the box, did I? Oh, yes, I did. No, yes, I did. Yeah, it's right here. I already threw it in the knife box, in the Lander fixed blade box. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. I got it. I got it. See, I'm not completely a moron. So yeah, so that should be a sweet setup. Hopefully you already have a bit driver that'll go in the holes, and I'm sure just about all of y'all have a little single double A flashlight that'll drop into that, and that'll be a sweet little package deal for y'all. Any questions about the giveaways? Am I missing something that I should be throwing in there, like $100 bill? No, can't be doing that. I paid for all this myself, so you know this is definitely somewhere around $100 right here for all that I'm including in this giveaway package for you guys, because I love y'all and it's fun to do this. I love winning, and I get to win occasionally, and some of y'all have DSKFS to me some winning, so it's absolutely got to give back and pass along what's been done for me in full kindness. So let's see, I got this paper here and got a pen. Let's do range. Let's do 40. All right, let me type it in. And let me write down the winning number. Oh, what should the winning number be? Yeah, that'll work. All right, got the winning number written down. And the range is going to be 40 to 320. And the start should be up. I just put the start with the range there on the in the chat, so y'all can start guessing away right after you see the start up. And yeah, start guessing away. Start guessing. 40 to 320 is your range. Again, general rules that we like to follow: closest without going over. Hopefully, not having any packages going to fucking Puerto Rico, right? Fingers crossed. I don't want any addresses for Puerto Rico or Alaska or Hawaii. Let's keep it in the greater United States here. Preferably not have to send anything out to California either, because with everything that's going out there, ooh, it would make me nervous as hell sending something worth more than a few bucks out to California right now. But yeah, and if you want to DSKFS to somebody else with your guess, it needs to be somebody that's here in the chat, here in the group, not somebody that's not here. So yeah, I think that's and obviously no turd burglars. I you guys got the deal. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know how to behave. I get a pretty good group in here, I would say. uh, so yeah, I appreciate y'all, and this is what I do, and I'm happy to do it. Ginger Fisher, send him a fat satchel of Richards. But yeah, so since the wife's been on her trip with her daughter, I've been holding down the fort at home by myself, and kind of a trade-off from when I took my oldest son up to the Blade Show for 4.5 days. So it's all fair. Luckily, out of no intentions on my part, no requesting on my part, Lowe's did not give me any work hours Monday through Friday this week. So that's kind of made it easier to keep tabs. Oh, one thing that happened. Y'all keep putting in your guesses. What was it? 40 to 3 something or another? I already forget the range. But y'all remember my cat. Yeah, thank you, Pretty Fly. I'll highlight that again. Appreciate you. Thank you for throwing that back up again. I already forgot. Papers right here. But so remember last week I talked just a little bit about our cat, my wife's cat, that was not doing really well, not looking so good all of a sudden. This is where she's at now. Yep. So she passed away um, early Sunday morning. She the wife, when Mrs. Urban got home from work Saturday, uh, she was spent most of her evening with that cat and petting it and everything, uh, and kept moving it, kept wanting it to be close to her because she was sad about how hard of a time she was having. She was struggling to breathe because she had a bunch of fluid build up in her lungs and or in her chest, and by the early hours of Sunday morning, her her body did not have the strength to go on with it, so she passed away. And kind of funny. I mean, most people know animals when they're ready to pass, when they know that it's time for themselves. Um, they want to be alone. They want to find a quiet, dark place to pass on their own, away from everybody and everything. Kind of almost like they're embarrassed, or maybe it's just because they just want the peace and quiet as they go. Whatever the case, so the fact that Mrs. Urban kept trying to bring her and put her at the foot of our bed because she wanted to be there with her when she passed. That's not what the cat wanted to do. So it was funny. Like about 30 or 40 minutes before she passed, Mrs. Urban went and got her and put her at the foot of her bed, gave her a few pets, and then tried to go back to sleep. And pretty much after within a few minutes of doing that, the cat bolted, took off, um, and ran underneath my daughter's bed in her room, which is one of the places that she likes to be for peace and quiet, and that's where she passed. So then Mrs. Urban woke me up like 40 minutes later and said, "Hey, I think the cat passed away under Zoe's bed." So yeah, it was kind of good because I would rather have been me going and getting it in the night like that before the kids woke up. I mean, I handle death pretty darn well, whether it's a loved one or it's just an animal to me, um, not one that I'm was super attached to. uh, but so it was not that big of a deal for me to deal with it, and then but I'm glad that my daughter didn't wake up and see or smell the cat underneath the bed. Well, I'm really glad that we found it and was able to remove it from her room, because I've heard the stories of people like they haven't seen their pet in like 2 or 3 days, and then they finally go into the closet of their guest bedroom that nobody ever goes into, and then they find this cat between the shoes, and the cat's been dead for like 4 or 5 days, and the smell is awful, and there's a stain on the rug or carpet or whatever. And like I'm glad that was not what happened. I'm really glad that my daughter wasn't the one to see her lifeless, eyes wide open underneath the bed like that, not breathing. So I'm glad that I was the one to deal with that. So yeah, I quickly removed the cat and um, took care of its body. And in fact, the ashes from her being cremated was done, yours truly, by me. uh, it was definitely an experience for me. I've never done that before. But again, because I was not very emotionally attached to the animal, to the cat. I mean, not that I didn't hate the cat, but I didn't like love the cat. I mean, I had some kind of a bond with it. I would say I was always super nice to it because cats, and I've had plenty of cats in my lifetime uh, before, especially when I was with my ex-wife and lived in San Diego and lived in apartments because I absolutely refused to do a dog as much as of a dog person as I am, and I absolutely love my dog Zorro here, who's over here on the floor snoring, just a little soft petty snore. But yeah, I have no problem doing smaller animals. There's absolutely no way that I could or would do my dog. Um, yeah, pretty much, pretty fly. I gave the cat a Viking send off. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go into the details because some of y'all don't probably do not want to hear that. But yeah, uh, but no, I it was all right. It was all right. Wasn't too terrible. It did take a long time because I did not have all the proper equipment. I did not do it the way that it exactly. The problem, the challenge is getting it hot enough, and there's only certain ways in order to do that. And I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money acquiring all that was needed in order to accomplish that. So it took a lot longer. And it was a lot more work than I bargained for from the get go. Uh, but I managed. I managed to do it, and I think everybody in the family is going to be very happy to have her, uh, to remember her by having her this way than just disposing it or in a non respective way, which plenty of people do, especially cats and rabbits and other things, guinea pigs or whatever. And we couldn't really bury it, because that was like the first thought. It was, I'll make a nice little coffin for it and we'll bury it um, in the yard and make a little headstone, get a little headstone or whatever for it. That kind of thing was kind of the first thought, but then I thought about it and I was like, there, and then I did a little bit of reading. We are pretty close. Our backyard is literally like from the back patio. We're probably not but 60 yards, 50 to 60 yards from a retaining pond that's this in the center of our neighborhood. And there's fish in there that people catch, and some people eat those fish from time to time. And we get a bunch of wildlife around here because of that retaining pond, and so other animals are drinking out of it. And then we have on the other side of our neighborhood, in one section, the woods is kind of marshy, kind of that go around our neighborhood, and drink the water from there or from where. And then I didn't want to bury her in the front yard because uh, I don't know where all the sprinkler pipes are laid because I didn't build this house. I didn't install the sprinkler system. So there's a lot of obstacles up in the front yard as far as trying to figure out where would be a good spot to bury her, and do all that. Plus, this is not our forever home. This is not a home we're going to be staying in for another 15 to 25 years. Hopefully, we're out of here in about 5 years, 4 or 5 years is the game plan, uh, which is longer than what we initially thought our game plan was going to be. Our original game plan was only going to be in this house like 5 or 6 years, and now it's looking like we're going to be closer to 10 to 12 years. But yeah, this was ended up being a better way to do it, a safer way for our environment here around us, and then we have something to have with us to remember her by for the kids and if anything more so Mrs. Urban. But this thing is lightweight aluminum and it weighs almost nothing. I'm going to have to weigh this after the live because I'm curious now. After doing the cremation process and getting, because this is not big, this is small. I mean, like look at my hand, and this is like an 11 to 12 pound cat. I'm curious whether or not this thing weighs at least 3 or 4 pounds. At least 3 or 4 pounds. It's heavy. It's got some chunk to it. So, like, I'm just curious because, like, burning everything down, getting it all the way down to, ashes, dark gray ashes, crushed, all the bones being crushed and everything. I had to outside when it's 98 degrees outside with a little small handheld sledgehammer, smashing all those little bones. Oh, for at least an hour and a half, I was crushing and smashing and bones into powder, to be able to get all of her into this thing. So it's got some weight to it. I'm surprised how heavy it is. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be, but I am. But all right, so yeah, the cat will be missed. So you guys, last Friday's live was, she was right about within her last 48 hours or so. But all right, we'll go back to a more positive. But I thought I'd share with you that we did lose our cat. Uh, Fingers are crossed that the wife will hold off on not getting another cat anytime soon. I would very much prefer to have my sinuses get some relief for at least 6 to 8 months of not having to take allergy medicine because I'm allergic to cats. Yeah, I'm really, really, really hoping that she does not get another cat for at least a year. I really need relief for at least a year. But all right, let's do the giveaway. Let's figure out who our winner is. No, that's not. I am not a serial killer. Never will be. But I've killed more than just. I mean, I didn't kill the cat. I just cremated it. With respect. With respect. Yeah, right. Tell her to get a smaller cat, less hammer. You're terrible, man. Oh, you and I would be trouble hanging out together on a regular basis. A number of y'all would be terrible because y'all would egg me on to do so much stupid, crazy shit that I would have no problem saying yes to. Yeah, right, Marco. But okay, let's announce our winner. Let me go back, scroll back up to the top. One or two of y'all help me out in figuring out. Okay, so I've got Ed 116, Dane Ross 315. I forget what I wrote down. Oh yeah, okay, that's the number. I forgot what I wrote down. The number. Neil and Burnt Relic are pretty close. Ooh. Yeah. One of y'all got fairly close. So I'm going to show you what the number was, and y'all Double check me, but I believe I know who our winner is. All right, so there was the range, and the winning number was 282. 282 is what I wrote down, and I believe the closest person to 282 was Neil with 278. He was only 4 off. Yeah, so I'm pretty positive that that's our winner. One thing about not having 50, 60, 80 people in the chat is that it's a little easier to do the number game. Yeah. Okay, so everybody's dead positive. We're all good. Neil's our winner. All right, Neil. Awesome. Congratulations, Neil. Well, let me since I still got pirate ship up. Do I have your address, Neil? Let me look back at my home. Do I have Neil? Yes, I do. Neil M. McKenzie. As long as Neil, as long as your mailing address has not changed since December of last year, I think that was the last time you won a giveaway. Was December 14th of 2024 was the last time I mailed something to you. So as long as that address is still good, then that's where I'll send this. Oh yeah, you're all the way out. How far away from Satisfaction are you? How close are you to Maddie? Because you're way out there. Thank God for pirate ship. This package is gonna. This is almost going back to where it came, where like more than half of it came from. The knife and the desk organizer at least came from all the way out there. Um, not far enough. Oh, you're 2.5 hours south of Maddie. Cool. So you've met him? I'm hoping, right? You've met Maddie in person. Spent some time with the big guy. He's a big guy. I've not gotten to meet him in person, but yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sending you a pretty sweet knife, Eagle Scout EDC. So you getting your own little giveaway package. And like I said, you keep that thing as I don't want it back until you find yourself not to pick it up for at least 4 to 6 months. If you go 4 to 6 months and you haven't bothered to pick it up, use it, carry it, or whatever, then go ahead and send it back to me, because then I'm going to send it back. I'm going to send it to somebody else that would enjoy having that same opportunity to experience that type of lock, that type of knife. So that's how long I want you to keep it. I know we didn't really discuss that part of it, but that's my intentions as of now. Is I want you to keep it as long as you want, as long as you're continuing to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. Once you get to the point where it sits in a drawer for 6 months, and you haven't bothered because you've got so many other things that you're enjoying, which is wonderful. That's how I've got probably about 60 or 70 knives that have not come out of the drawer in the last 6 to 8 months. And yeah, it happens to all of us. And whether it's a year from now or 3 years from now, you'll get there, man. I know. For now, I want you. I know that you'll enjoy it and have fun with it. And but but yeah, that's the plan. Since I haven't told you yet, I want you to enjoy it. And so same with same different story with Neil. If it's a giveaway, then it's yours for forever. You do whatever you want with it. So Neil, I will send this wonderful little package to the other side of the fucking country where you live. uh, but yeah, y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome. Like I said, I like to. People do a lot for me in this community. I win giveaways from time to time. Uh, Not all the time. Not like some people who have much better luck than I do. But I enjoy the giveaways that I win and the things that come my way from gracious people in our community, and I care so much to give it back. Now, like B&A sent me this Buck Knives hat, which I absolutely love because the B in the anvil is cool, and my last name starts with B, and so I'm all about anything that's got the B on it. So yeah, but this cigar tube by this company, um, the company starts with his last name is where the B comes from, and so he's got the B on there. It's the gold is kind of faded a little bit in some spots. Kind of just have to hit it with the light at the right angle. And of course, you're not really going to see it very well because of this camera's. Because StreamYard won't give me 1080 camera abilities without me paying for it. I am not Jason Bourne. No, I'm my knees are too bad and I have the busted back. I can never be Jason Bourne. Although I've not done that kind of training. Done other training, and 15, 20 years ago, I was I was very I was definitely in the game with the best of them. Like I could do things that the SEALs could do, and the Army Rangers. Like I mean, the 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 deployment that I went on, that's who I was deployed with. Was Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, and combat engineers, which were us CBs and a couple of others. So I was rolling with some pretty badass dudes and part of that group. Out of that group, I was probably at skill level. I was probably at the bottom for sure, but I had some good solid training in me on a lot of stuff and kind of for the most part felt like I knew what I was doing and physically was absolutely capable of of keeping up with all of those badasses. So yeah, I was in the fray with some of the best at one point in time, and that ended fairly quickly. But all right, yeah. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for playing the game, bro. Hopefully that knife gets to you before early next week, sooner than later. No mailing mishaps. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call a night because it is almost 9 o'clock. We've been rolling, man. We've been rolling. It's been a good night. Um, one of my cousins is in town with his little boy, who's a year older than Suburban. Suburban, my youngest, who's 8. Uh, his I guess great cousin or whatever. I don't know how that works, but extended family. It gets weird with what to call people, but other than by their names, right? But my cousin is down here with his son, who's 9, and they're in a small little baseball tournament that's being held here in our town. And so they played to yesterday, and or they played today a couple, like 2 or 3 games, and then I think they play tomorrow a couple games before they'll probably be eliminated because they're not the best team out there. Not even anywhere close. But Suburban has been with my grandmother, my almost 90-year-old grandmother, who's they wanted to spend the day together. So I was like, I'm not gonna stop that. So he's been hanging out with her today, and they went to that ball game. One of them, at least, which is all about a 90-year-old could handle during the middle of summer down here. It's freaking hot. It sucks being out there for an hour, but she does it. She does it to support the kids and the grandkids and the great grandkids in this case. So yes, he's spending. So Suburban is spending the night with her. This little punk ass kid. Listen to this. It's funny to me because like my older kids would not have done this, but Suburban goes and he packs. I tell him to pack his bag for the day. I just want you to have a change of underwear. Maybe pack a spare set of clothes just in case something happens. Even though she lives just like right across town, she's like 12 minutes from me. She's a 12-minute drive, so it's not like they're far. But I was like, go ahead and just pack a couple pairs of underwear and an extra set of clothes, your swimsuit in case you end up going swimming at their community pool that they have right there in their neighborhood. And I took them and dropped them off with her mid-morning this morning. And he called me, or he had my grandmother call me this afternoon around 4:30, and he asked if he could do a sleepover at great grandma's house. And I'm like, well, do you need me to bring your toothbrush and your PJs? And he was like, nope, I packed all of it. This little dude packed a pair of PJs, a set of clothes for tomorrow, and plenty of underwear. He brought like 3 or 4 pairs of underwear. I don't know why he had to pack so much underwear, but yeah, he set himself up for spending the night. And like, dude. And then he calls me this evening and asks if he can do it. I'm like, you sly little shit. But that's my boy. That's Suburban for you right there. My other 2 kids, my older kids, they would have not been so sneaky, clever, sneaky like that. They would have that would have not have happened. They would have been asking me if I could bring them a pair of PGAs and a set of clothes for tomorrow. But no, he had it. He had his game plan. His game plan was set, and he was ready to go. He was prepared. He knew what he was doing. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be a little bit mad at him for that, or if I'm just supposed to be proud of him. But I'm just proud of him. Like, you go, dude. Like, you made a game plan. You were ready for it to go either way, and made it happen. So like, good on him, right? But okay, let's end the night with that. If anybody was still listening, but yep, y'all take care. Y'all have. I will not be here next Friday. Next Friday, not doing a live because it is 4th of July. And that entire afternoon, evening is family plans with 4th of July. We're actually going to go watch the fireworks on the beach on St. Simon's Island, which is pretty cool, kind of fun to do. Done it in the past. It's actually been a couple years since we've actually gone on the beach to watch them. We've watched them from the pier before, but yeah, So there might be, look for a post, at least on Instagram, but there might be a short little video clip on my channel of my Buc-ee's that is 10 minutes down the road is doing their grand opening this coming Tuesday. So just a handful of days away, 4 days away. They're going to be opening Tuesday in the middle of the day. And so I will absolutely be at Buc-ee's that day, that early afternoon, pretty much lunchtime. And it's gonna be a damn nightmare. It's gonna be all hell is gonna break loose. There's gonna be so many people, so many people. That Buc-ee's is gonna be packed when they do their grand opening. I work 8 to I think 8:30 to 12:30 that day, and they're doing their grand opening ceremony at 11. So I will be there probably around 1 o'clock. It'll be around 1 o'clock before I get over there from work. But yeah, I'm excited for our Buc-ee's that's going to be right here in town, so close. I mean, they're gonna take so much money from me between their brisket sandwiches and their jerky and all the cool other cool shit that they've got. Oh, I'm gonna need another job again just in order to be able to afford going to Buc-ee's as much as I'm gonna want to go to Buc-ee's and get stupid shit at Buc-ee's. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Y'all have a great weekend. Won't see you next Friday. Be safe for 4th of July. Don't do crazy shit that I want to do. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'll catch y'all in the chats and in other lives later on. So I'm out here. Peace. Love y'all. Take care. Be safe.